Hello everyone, this is Scarzig, and welcome back to another episode of Duelyst. Today, we're going to be playing some Reva. So before we hop in, let's take a look at the deck list. So in this deck, I envisioned this originally as a control list, and I ended up, piecing it slowly together, doing a ton of testing on stream, and this is what we ended up with. It has a lot of different pieces for a lot of different situations. It's, of course, falling back to my old toolbox style of play, but it is very effective. This deck just looks to ping the opponent down, slowly burn them, and we do have some potential for burst combos in the end game. Eternity Painter is a fantastic minion for dealing with our opponent's momentum. If they play something really big that we can't really deal with. So looking at this list, we've got 3 Chakri Avatar. These are pretty much red herrings. I don't ever expect these to stick or to grow, but our opponents cannot afford to let them stick or to grow. So these automatically are going to eat removal for us, and this allows our Eternity Painters, our Four Winds Magi, our Mind Cage Onis to stick and maybe do a little bit more work for us. The Healing Mystics are there for potentially healing our face if we need it. The Healing Mystic being able to restore health to a Battle Pando or a Lantern Fox, allowing to get additional rotations of their abilities, are also fantastic. And that's one of the primary uses I use it for on the deck. Battle Pando is just great for dealing with Swarm. It's great for softening up units, putting them in range for your general to take out, some of your other spells to take out, right? In terms of large threats, that's something that Abyssian does struggle with. If something has a lot of HP, they have to spend too many resources clearing it. And so Battle Pando being able to ping it for 1 or 2 extra damage might allow a Phoenix Fire or something to take it out, and it saves us a lot of hassle. Again, Eternity Painter also helps with that. We've got Lantern Fox in the mix to get us some more Phoenix Fires. This is not the type of deck that is going to be holding on to Phoenix Fires to save them for combos. This is just to generate more removal for us, right? The Phoenix Fires aren't going to go face. They're just going to be used to kill really important minions, and Lantern Fox is just going to give us more Phoenix Fires. We only have 2 copies of Mind Cage Oni, which is pretty interesting because this is a really strong unit, and I felt that, just running 3 of them was going to be really good, and I found that I never had room in my hand to play Mind Cage Oni and actually be able to draw cards. So having the 2 copies of Mind Cage Oni means that you don't just play it as soon as possible and empty your hand and let it refill. You save Mind Cage Oni for the turn before your opponent wants to play a really important spell to come back onto the board, and then you get a copy of it. So it's definitely more strategic that way. The fact that Mind Cage Oni just sticks around and continuously gives you spells is what's going to proc our Blood Rage Mask. It's what's going to proc our Four Winds Magi. And that's just really strong all around. We know that Reva makes really strong use of artifacts for the simple fact that your opponent is going to be spending so much time clearing your board, dealing with Heart Seekers, that your Four Winds Magi and your artifacts, are going to get a lot of additional pings. We've got Silhouette Tracers to get around big provokes or to get out of a nasty situation. We only need the 1 and then just 1 copy of Geomancer. Even though this is a control deck, you'd figure that, getting Geomancer, getting Phoenix Fire set up as your Bloodbound spell is going to be one of the most important factors, but that is not the case. Because this deck likes to go so late into the late game, you're eventually going to see Geomancer, and there are certain matchups where having the Phoenix Fires is good, and there's certain matchups where you want to have Heart Seekers. So then it's usually you switch over to Phoenix Fires right when you're about to go for the kill. You're setting up like a 2-turn lethal or something. And the spells, we've got Gotatsu for card draw and ping. Gotatsu can ping your own Battle Pandos and Lantern Foxes, which is really sexy. We've got 3 Mist Dragon Seals, of course, 2 Death Strike Seals to go with the Battle Pandos, to go on Heart Seekers, 3 Phoenix Fires for removal. We've got 1 Onyx Bear Seal in case our opponent tempos out something really nasty before we get to Eternity Painter, 2 Twin Strikes to deal with a little bit of Swarm, plus extra card draw, and Spiral Technique to finish it off. So as you can see, this deck does have a lot of moving parts, but we are going to jump right in and get some games going. Out of all the decks that I've been testing this month, this one is probably one of the strongest. Reva, of course, has always been pretty strong. So going up against Abyssium, we do need to anticipate Phantasm, right? Early in the game. So what I might want to do is they move forward, they summon something. I could summon Lantern Fox, potentially go Tatsu my own Lantern Fox and use the Phoenix Fire to kill the Phantasm. But then my opponent gets a proc. So I think that's not terrible. That's not terrible. That's only if my opponent opens with Phantasm. But if I could get like a Phoenix Fire and I could go like Chakri Avatar Phoenix Fire, that would be really dope. Do I want to throw the Four Winds Magi and save that and play that maybe a little bit later? Because we do have a curve going here. I think I can throw the Healing Mystic. Okay, I like that. We'll see what my opponent does. Because sometimes they miss the Phantasm. I don't think I mind giving my opponent just one instance of the Phantasm proccing. Because we have so many ways to remove it in this deck, and we're going to be playing ultra defensively. I was really hesitant to call this a mid-range Reva deck because my personal definition, especially when it pertains to this game, is that mid-range decks have the ability to take more aggressive lines in certain matchups if they need to, and I found that I can't recall a matchup where I am being the aggressive one. I can take games as late as I want and just slowly whittle my opponent down and then go for Spiral Technique or something. So looking at this board, instead of summoning the Lantern Fox, I'm probably just going to put down the Battle Pando. And do we want to hold Chakri? We'll hold Chakri. This is good. And so this pressures the mana here. This is a really sick Wraithling spawn. He went for the... I normally advocate for playing Gloom Chaser on the center because there's a higher chance for the Wraithling to spawn on one of these tiles and not accidentally spawn on this tile and like you deny your own ramp that way. But he went for the Gloom Chaser diagonal, got the Wraithling on the center, so now he can actually ramp up to 5 here and do something nasty. So we'll see what he does. There's potential for Wraithling to come forward and then an Ephemeral Shroud or something to come down, dispel the Battle Pando. My opponent has, like, having access to 5 mana, he's got a lot of options. So he's taking his time thinking about what he wants to do. He can't use Demonic Lore in the Battle Pando either because then it'll proc. So he's in a pickle. He can do some cool stuff, but he probably only has Swarm cards in his hand. Like maybe he has Wraithling Swarm and like another Gloom Chaser or something and he doesn't want to play them. Ooh, Darkfire Sacrifice. Okay, let's go. Like when my opponent gets setups like this, I'm not like so much worried as like excited to see what kind of crazy nonsense they're gonna do. Yo, that's pretty sick. Okay. Darkfire Sacrifice into Bloodtide Priestess. Just get that out of the way. So this is actually a punish for not summoning the Lantern Fox, because now I don't have access to a Phoenix Fire to immediately kill that. Cool. Okay. Well, actually, so he decided to let it proc twice, which is really surprising. So now I can use Gotatsu to finish off my own Battle Pando and then kill the Bloodtide Priestess and the Wraithling that it summoned. And because those pinks go out simultaneously, the Bloodtide Priestess isn't going to like leave any Wraithlings behind. Right now I'm thinking about if I want to go like Chakri Avatar Gotatsu. I could actually move forward, play Lantern Fox, Chakri Avatar, Gotatsu by taking the mana tiles. That'd be 3, 4, 5, 6. And that might be the best because Gotatsu's going to draw me a card, and then I draw a card naturally at the end of the turn, and then Lantern Fox has potential to give me more spells, so then I can set up for a really strong Four Winds Magi play. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even need to use Gotatsu in the Battle Pando because I can just bring it this way and hit. Okay, yeah, so we'll we'll play it light. We can save the Gotatsu for something important, maybe to hit our own Lantern Fox or something. And again, if he uses Demonic Lore on the Chakri Avatar to kill it, then that's positive for us. That would be 2 Demonic Lores out already for him. And the Gotatsu play also would have been correct there. If you didn't want to just go face, because that's like 2 more damage instead of going Gotatsu. Basically, we'd be trading 2 damage to draw a card, to change Gotatsu into a new card. So this ain't too bad. We can actually just equip the Cyclone Mask, walk away. We've got Arcane Heart. Nice. Yeah, and then Lantern Fox comes down and kills the other Wraithling. Cyclone Mask I threw in as just a one-of for situations just like this. Alright, and then we get a Phoenix Fire. I'm going to replace the second Lantern Fox because we have one in play and a Phoenix Fire in hand already. Do I want the... No. And I'll keep the Chakri Avatar safe. This way, if I draw a Mist Dragon Seal or something, I can send it in. Typically, I don't count on Chakri Avatar sticking to the board, but if he doesn't have the spell he needs to remove it, then of course I'm going to take advantage. Next turn, we're going to be on 6 mana, so we can do 4 Winds Magi into Phoenix Fire. If he lets us take this mana, then we can also throw a Gotatsu on top of that. If he summons something big, like say he moves forward and like plays a 5 mana minion, then we have Deathstrike Seal to throw onto the Heartseeker and then do that. But he's got the Sphere of Darkness, so that creates a Shadow Creep tile underneath the Heartseeker, and when he ends his turn, that'll deal 1 damage and kill the Heartseeker. And it draws him a card, which is important to note. So he's giving me the Phoenix Fire. This is interesting. But we've got a pretty sweet setup here where he went defensive to get the Bloodtide Priestess put in a faraway spot, and then we are able to counter that just by walking away and playing Cyclone Mask. This deck pressures people and punishes them so bad from walking away, and this is honestly one of the few times that we are probably going to be using a Phoenix Fire on the face because our opponent's board is clear. We don't have anything better to do. And yeah, we can replace the Deathstrike Seal. Oh, dang. Punished. I should have equipped the Crescent Spear to get the extra damage from the Cyclone Mask. And also to play around absolutely everything, I probably could have stepped up to this top tile so that he can't walk 2 forward and then play a Provoke here to lock these 2 down. Not like it matters. He's already down to 7 HP. But the fact we had the Battle Pando opening to counter the Bloodtide Priestess was really what won us this game, because that's a unit that can just, really get out of control. In that situation, Songhai's forced to dig for Phoenix Fires. They don't worry about it too much because, they just play a Lantern Fox and then it draws you a Phoenix Fire off a Wraithling or something, and then you have the tool you need to kill the Bloodtide Priestess. But if they get a Deathfire Crescendo or something up and running before you have a chance to stop that, then it's really bad news. But yeah, he has to take out the 4 Winds Magi, of course. But we've got the Crescent Spear. Yeah, we don't even need to be cute. We can just Phoenix Fire, does the extra proc, and then we just kill him. So that was, honestly, Abyssian, going up against Lilith, like a Swarmy-based Lilith like that, is one of this deck's best matchups, specifically because of Battle Pando. So I don't want to pretend like this deck is like wrecking people. I think that I also have this deck right now in a weird slump in the meta where not a lot of people are playing with Mage Sworn, where first people were like, haha, I want to counter Vanar and Abyssian and Songhai. I'm going to play Mage Sworn and really screw over their combos and stuff. But I haven't really seen it a lot lately. But going up against Cassyva is going to be a bit more difficult because her Bloodborne spell will allow her to directly control my Heartseekers. I summon a Heartseeker, then she uses Abyssal Scar to just kill the Heartseeker. So this is one of those matchups I was talking about where we actually do want to get Geomancer out. I'm also going to hold on to Eternity Painter. This allows us to deal with Abyssal Juggernauts, Klaxons, those bigger Shadow Creep based minions in case she's going along those lines. Alright, so Lantern Fox right out of the gates is pretty good for us. There is potential from the demonic lore, the Lantern Fox, and then hit it and we'll burn a Phoenix Fire, but that is a risk we need to take. And I'm actually going to replace a Four Winds Magi here. We only have 2 in the deck, and there's a really high chance that it's going to get answered. So we just want the 1 or a few minions to drop down prior before we start dropping the Four Winds Magi. So we're just going to put the Lantern Fox down. He's going to, of course, step up, deny this mana. Interesting. Adjudicator. Lower the cost of all spells in your action bar by 1. What could he possibly want to do? He does have 6 cards in hand. So hopefully he got a lot of value out of that. Like, reducing the cost of Rite of the Undervault is pretty cool. This might be Arcanist, actually. Like, if he's just setting up, like, for a really spell-heavy turn with, like, Owlbeast Stage or something. Really glad I got Eternity Painter, I got to say. And look, this directly threatens the Lantern Fox, which is probably another thing he was thinking about. So let's see. I can take that 3 damage myself and have the Lantern Fox hit and get me a Phoenix Fire. Yes, and then I can punch. I think I'm going to replace the Crescent Spear. Yeah, I'm going to cast this Phoenix Fire just to buff the Chakra Avatar and open up hand space. That way, when the Lantern Fox, if it gets pinged by Abyssal Scar, I have a space for that next Phoenix Fire. I like to save these for removal, but this is the second game now where we're sort of in a situation where we want to keep our hand emptied. So he's going the Prismatic Illusionist route for Swarm, which is, because Prismatic Illusionist is a 2/3, it's a bit more resistant to Battle Pando. I actually used to have, in an older version of this list, I was running Ghost Lightnings, but that ends up just not being good enough. So let's replace the Spiral Technique and see what we get. There's the Battle Pando. Alright, so I can actually Battle Pando and Phoenix Fire my own Battle Pando to proc it immediately, and then step down and kill the Prismatic Illusionist. That's really strong. Yeah, we're definitely doing that. And that does buff the Chakra Avatar. I'd prefer this was like a Gotatsu or something, but what are you going to do? This keeps this Swarm under control. And the Chakra Avatar, let's see. It doesn't really matter where I put it, I guess. But, well, yeah, I should move it anyway. There's no reason not to. And, like, if he steps up and he has, like, you know, a Tiger plus a buff, this keeps it away from just walking up and playing an Ephemeral Shroud on it or something. So, all the things I was talking about in the intro to the video where, yeah, we want to save the Phoenix Fires as removal, or, yeah, Chakra Avatars don't really stick, have now been, like, proven wrong. And that's just how Duelyst goes. Even when you have certain plans, certain expectations, even certain, like, quote-unquote rules for how you play your own decks, it's important to be flexible. Oh, man. The Wraithlings are too strong. And so the Wraithlings actually counteract my artifacts too, which is really obnoxious. So I can walk away. Well, the thing is like I would normally like to just walk away from these Wraithlings, and just, keep my stuff safe, but that's not really an option here, because you want to try to keep the Wraithlings down. I can walk away, because like Eternity Painter's not too good. I thought that he was going to be playing like some bigger stuff, but it looks like he's still trying to get a swarm established. So if you keep the swarm under control, then you win. But I guess I just have to hedge my bets here, because I can walk here, kill this Wraithling, then summon the Four Winds Magi, then summon a Heartseeker, and then Mist Dragon that Heartseeker over to the corner. And do I want to keep the Cyclone Mask? No, we're gonna chuck that. And so this leaves the Chakri Avatar vulnerable to Ephemeral Shroud because he can play it off of these Wraithlings. But if he doesn't do that, then I Mist Dragon Seal the Chakri Avatar in and probably burst him out here. Now that I've got the Heartseeker he needs to worry about, now that I've got the Four Winds Magi he needs to worry about. You see what I mean? We have our threats spread around. This is how Reva kills you. Is she has her threats all over the board, and so you have to move from one side of the board to the other to keep things under control. And see, he's got the Owl Beast Sage here, and he's buffing it. He's casting a bunch of spells this turn as well. And this is what I was talking about, right? A minion with tons and tons of HP, how do you deal with it? But at any rate, we've got Twin Strike, and we just need to calculate this for Chakri Avatar. That's 5 plus 6... plus 7, plus 8, plus 9, plus 10, 11, 12, 13. So that actually puts us one off lethal, funny enough. So we're going to replace Battle Pando. Oh, Mist Dragon Seal. Why don't you know? So let me see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got it. We just Twin Strike first, just to get a spell proc to buff the Chakri Avatar. And then we cast a Heartseeker to buff the Chakri Avatar. And then we Mist Dragon to buff the Chakri Avatar. And then we Mist Dragon again to buff the Chakri Avatar. Oh my god, this is brutal. Alright, so 2, 4, and then Chakri Avatar. Holy cow! So, I think we played that pretty good. Simply because we were able to get threats spread out all over the map there, and he chose to focus on killing the Heartseeker, right? Because if I had, say, Death Strike Seal or something for the Heartseeker, or if I had a killing edge for it, because it was cornered up there next to the Owl Beast Sage, the Owl Beast Sage would still be able to hit the Heartseeker and in melee range and take it out. And that's what he was hedging, because you saw last turn he used Abyssal Scar and Punish on the Four Winds Magi to get that off of the board. I feel like he probably should have done Abyssal Scar Punish on the Chakri Avatar, because I was already at pretty high HP, so the healing from the Four Winds Magi didn't quite matter. I don't know. That's difficult to say. That's difficult to say which threat you play around, and he chose. And honestly, if he had killed the Chakri Avatar, I probably still would have had lethal because of the additional procs from the Four Winds Magi. But that is the deck. Holy cow, that's pretty strong. So everything that I said about this deck got contradicted in this video. Using Phoenix Fires on face, Chakri Avatar sticking and winning the game, taking aggressive lines. And I don't really feel like I was being aggressive. Like, this isn't an aggro Reva deck. I don't have copies of Killing Edge in the deck. But our opponents are just playing way too slow. But thank you for joining me today. I will see you next time, and you have a good one.